Hey, I'm Scott.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Doxologic, where we help you think with your Bible.
The first question reads like this. If someone that is gay comes to Christ and he or she is quote-unquote married, what would that person do? Would they be required to stay in that relationship or leave the marriage?
It's not a marriage.
So we can kind of pull the Band-Aid off quickly without a lot of nuance and say it's not a marriage. It would be appropriately called same-sex marriage, which is, I think, coined by Douglas Wilson years ago in a book. And so the answer is yes, you would need to. I wouldn't so much say that the pastors or elders need to demand it on a certain timeline, but they need to help the person understand what this actually is. And so what you're leaving is not even marriage under God. Mm-hmm. It's marriage by the piece of paper from the state, but it's a faux marriage. And so, you would.
The problem is the complexities of
compassion,
joining your lives together,
yes.
And you may have kids at this point, right?
Adoption, legally,
and that stuff. So so it really, really, unfortunately complicates things. So the enemy has a way of not only just adding to the definition of marriage, but adding to the definition of family. In this sense. And now you're tearing kids apart from a broken relationship anyway, and having to deal with that and the complexities of even how things are divvied up and what divorce looks like and court systems and all of that stuff. So to your point, I think you're incredibly patient and compassionate with these people, walking with them in the process without compromising the truth that Christians, and here's the thing, one by one, everything that was once not pleasing to God, you're getting rid of, right? Mm-hmm. And now you are seeking to please God by the power of the Holy Spirit and move in that direction, okay? So just the same way you would with anything else. The first, just the other example that comes to mind in different contexts would be marriage in the sense of we're not married, but we're married in our hearts going towards a real marriage and we live together. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well, that's not the picture of biblical marriage either, right, to live together. So let's move towards you guys separating in that sense and honoring that the covenant of marriage is the time at which your two lives become one. You become immersed in that level of intimacy with one another. You share that marriage bed. All of that comes together. But until then, there should be a sense of which, if I'm Christian, then I'm looking to honor Christ, which that's a hard thing to do in general, right? You have kids in the picture again, that whole situation. But that's the movement forward. And it's not just for this issue. This is one of the most complicated ones, right, and unfortunately, it's become so intertwined with just a woven spread of complexity again, but that's what I would say. Yeah.
So all of that does not change the ultimate answer, which is yes, but it's not to say that, again, on a certain timeline that certain pastors or elders would come in with, this lacking compassion. And I think it's important to say the answer is yes. How long it may take, why it's complex is where things get definitely difficult. But nonetheless.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to Doxologic, a podcast by Doxa Church in Rocklin, California. To learn more, visit us online at doxa.church.